What advice would you give to a young CEO or a team leader who wanted to do good on the job? So who wanted to have it all? Because I think in today's world you can do both. Grow your business, improve the bottom line, and do good. So what advice would you give to a young CEO or a team leader?
With Thai, it's interesting because I come across so many different company leaders and different visionaries, different ways of doing business. And obviously I'm quite lucky because the people that we work with tend to be much more open-minded, and they do tend to have more of a vision that's in line with obviously Thai, because obviously they probably wouldn't work with us if they didn't. But I think a lot of it comes down to purpose. I mean, we keep saying the same word, but I really do believe that it comes down to that. I think the key is if a company can find out what their purpose is, and like you say, it's not easy. And and at the end of this, I can give some links or different companies that can actually help with this. But finding a purpose, I think, is key, because not only will it then help your employees believe in what you do and your consumers believe in what you do, but I think once you find that purpose, you can then figure out how to talk about yourselves in a better way, which will then really improve your PR. And it's not just about greenwashing. It's not just about talking the talk. It's about properly embodying it. And I really truly believe that the private sector can be a huge force for change. I mean, I really believe that. I think the private sector has the money, they have the human resources. They're also able to make decisions incredibly quickly, and versus the public sector, which is very bureaucratic, and the third sector, which just isn't. It can sometimes act quickly, but also funds are a huge restriction, so they don't have access to money as quickly. But I really do believe that the private sector has what it takes to be able to make a change. But in order to be able to do that, you need to figure out what is your strategy and how can you be a part of that change. And again, I think that's where purpose comes in. It helps to create that strategy where everyone throughout the company can see how they can be a part of making the world a better place. And I think a lot of it then also comes down to the employees. We know that there's corporate change makers, and I'm such a big believer in corporate change makers and intrapreneurs. You've got entrepreneurs doing things like, I'm an entrepreneur setting up a company, but intrapreneurs are as important, particularly in this space. Intrapreneurs are people within already existing companies that act in an entrepreneurial way, but can see opportunity and can use the resources, the human and financial resources of these big companies to make really big change. And I think that's where all of this is really exciting. And I think companies, CEOs and company leaders, if they can figure out how to empower your employees to think like that and to help them be a part of that change in that way, and then of course acting environmentally and ethically sound, I think you can be a part of a movement that really can start to make the world a much better place using the power that you have.